Hello, welcome to Outside the Boxes. I'm the host, Jocko Bear. And today I'm going to dive into the political arena, but more than likely it'll be outside the box for most people. So, the big mistake we make with our politics is thinking that we've chosen the right side, even if that is the left or the right. Um, it's also a mistake to think that these two-party system is what the people have chosen. This is what the people have been allowed to have. We're not allowed to have a third party because it'd be very hard for the people in our government to control us. It's so much easier with a two-party system because they can give us the illusion of opposition, meanwhile going in the direction they want behind the scenes, which is what's been happening for a long time. Isn't it interesting now? I mean, it's pretty obvious to see this, that now the Democrats are pro-war and the Republicans seem to be pro-peace. The people, that is, not the politicians. Well, I mean, it's going through the politicians, but you don't see a lot of Republican people out protesting like you would see Democrats protesting for peace. Kind of like they are for Palestine, but some of their messages mix, like where they want violence against Israel. So and I'm not wanting to get into any of that. All I'm saying is that we are only allowed to have a two-party system. It is not really a two-party system. It is one party. It is them and us. And we, the people, need to find a way to get back to our representatives representing us instead of the corporate elite. So, I think the best way is to start local, because the way our constitution and our government was set up is that the power goes down smaller, so that way the whole idea of majority rule can't take you over and take all your rights away, basically. So, your city, county, state, and the federal government. I mean, if you actually are out there and you think that you have a choice in who we get to vote on for president, I mean, the biggest fluke we've had is probably Donald Trump. They didn't expect him to get the nomination, they didn't expect him to win, and then they didn't expect him to be like pro-American. That really kind of pissed them off. Like, and I'm not pro-Trump or nothing. Well, I don't like either side. The one thing is Trump resisted all the usual Republican push from people like Bolton and stuff to go to war. We did some staged false flags and attacks and shit like that in Iran and Tehran, all this weird shit that was happening over there, that they were trying to provoke Trump to start a war with Iran, and he didn't. So I mean, he seems very like what used to be a Democrat or liberal in that sense. He seemed way more for peace than war. Because usually, for a long time, Republicans have been all the war, but now it's Democrats. So there you go. There's your illusion that you have a choice and that you're the opposition because you've chosen to be Democrat or Republican. Where the only way that we have any say or any impact in the federal area is by trying to elect the populist. I think it's time for a populist party, even on both sides. That'd be the easiest, instead of, because we've had all these other parties: Independent Party, Libertarian Party, uh, Green Party, and none of them really get much steam. You got RFK running now, and Ross Perot ran back in the day. That was like the only time there was a third party candidate, and he didn't get very much of the vote. But I think the one that would get him the best would be the populist movement. So right now on the Democrat side, you would say that'd be RFK Jr. Unless you're just totally a sheep and You just follow your political leaders instead of like telling them what you want. Which, I mean, geez Louise, RFK got kicked out of the party. He's a freaking awesome candidate for that side. And then of course Trump on the right. The main reason Trump's a populist is because the whole establishment doesn't want him there, which is a clear sign he should be there. And the same thing for RFK. The establishment doesn't want him there. So these are the people we need in. This is clear as day. If you've chosen a political side, one of the two sides you're allowed to choose, you probably think that your side is right most of the time and that the other side is the side that's corrupt. Well, both sides are very, very corrupt. And they lie and they lie and they deceive you all the fucking time. So stop buying into the two-party system. It's an illusion. It's like watching WWF, where yeah, it's a little bit real and they rough each other up a little bit, but it's all been staged, and backstage they're buddies. So, like, yeah, pay attention, folks. Our representatives represent the lobbyists. They don't represent the people. Who's putting the monies in their pocket? How do they all become super wealthy? So, we definitely need to rethink how we approach this whole political thing in America, and remember that they're supposed to represent us, and all government is supposed to do is provide services for the people. They're not supposed to make money or anything like that. Of course, our government doesn't make money. They're just lousy at spending it. And I'll get more into that probably in another episode. I'll go into the mistake people make about inflation and why no one seems to get the simple truths. And even when people get close, they still just they start adding a bunch of weird shit so make it sound complicated. So look for my my one on inflation here coming soon, because I'm sick of this shit. And like, I call it outside the boxes because going outside the box is pretty fucking easy these days. I mean, geez Louise. They've tried to constrain so much of what we can talk about and what ideas are accepted and all this bullshit. But yeah, I think it's time humanity wakes up. We start to search out our higher potential, which right now we're probably 1 or 2% of what our potential is. So I guess we got a lot to grow and learn. So I'm here for the journey, and hope you keep tuning in and enjoy the show. Have a great day, and Team Humanity.